Welcome to the Pub Sports Radio NBA Pub Hub for Saturday, June the 12th. Ian Cameron, Skee Prophet, Dutch Boy Fresh, Conor Mac with you, ready to break down this Saturday card, which is just one game tonight. And it's a ABC primetime special, the Clippers and the Jazz. It's been nothing special about the Clippers through the first two games of this series. We'll see if that changes tonight in Game 3. Before we get to that, we'll look back on what we saw last night. And what we saw last night was coming of age, maturity, and a Philadelphia 76ers with the kind of win that shows me they're ready to take a next step. That's what that was last night against the Atlanta Hawks. Going on the road, when we know the road has been a bugaboo for years with this team, especially in the Brett Brown days, which we know he's gone, thank goodness. But different time, different team, different coach. That was a put the hammer down and show that you're a superior team last night with the way they played, the Philadelphia 76ers defensively. After that game one debacle defensively, they bared down in the second half of game two. They've done it again in game three the other night or last night. Impressive defensive effort. They frustrated. They let Bogdanovich get off, but other than that, they did a good job frustrating Trae Young for a big part of that game, no question. And the defense was just the difference for the Sixers. And what's good for Philly is, they got still good perimeter contributions, and they've had a different guy with Shake Milton in game two. Who was it last night, especially early, that got him going off the bench? Furkan Korkmaz, one of the best names you'll ever hear in the entire league. What a start he had. He gave them something offensively. So they're getting different contributors. Ben Simmons gets his offense going. Dutch was railing about that for a couple of days now with this guy. Get aggressive, take it to the rim, and he's been doing that. He's still got to improve on his free throw shooting, but nevertheless, he's taken it to the rim, which is good to see. Just a good effort from the Philadelphia 76ers. They were ice cold from three Atlanta. Yeah, they missed some open looks, but you got to credit Philly defensively for that. And Philadelphia takes a 2-1 series lead. And to me, that was them showing, flexing their muscles a bit that, hey, we're better than this team, and we're about to show it. So I worry a little bit about Atlanta, and certainly it's going to be curtains for them if they don't win the next game, game 4 at home. The other game last night was, I feel it just feels frustrating to me that I bought into this Denver team in the first quarter and first half, bought into that nonsense. They're just not good against this Phoenix team. They're just the second best team by far. The Suns are playing at an extremely high level. It's everybody on board. It's Booker, it's Paul, it's Bridges, it's Crowder, it's Ayton. It's everybody. And then there's bench guys, Cameron Paynes of the world, Cameron Johnsons of the world are even doing something. The law firm of Cameron and Cameron are getting it done for Phoenix as well. Denver has no answers. They're spent. I think they're worn down. I think Phoenix has beaten the will out of this team as well. You saw it in the second half. Where was that push from Denver? They got it to within 8. That's their push. That's what they call this great step-up effort. From Michael after Michael Malone called them out after game 2. It's not an effort thing. It's a we can't match up with this team thing. That's clear as day now. Suns dominant once again, up 3-0 in this series. And yeah, the guys in the chat are saying it. Hard to disagree. 1-2-3 Cancun is what this is looking like right now for the Phoenix Suns over the Denver Nuggets. Skee Prophet, what do you think of last night, what we saw?
I was a little distracted right now. I saw some craziness. I mean, I see stuff going on in the sports world. Hopefully people are all okay.
The soccer thing was terrible. We should mention that. There was a Denmark player collapsed during the Denmark-Finland match in the Euro 2020 soccer event. He had to be taken off on a stretcher. It was apparently lost consciousness. They had to resuscitate him, and we just hope that he is fine. As Christian Eriksen was the player for Denmark. I'm not a big soccer guy, but I've been watching some of this tournament. And we just, thoughts and prayers that he's okay, and to his family. I mean, it's absolutely a horrendous scene.
Yeah, definitely. I hope he's okay. Yesterday, let's see, that Atlanta game, really just a series. I think we kind of just see now, like, Atlanta cannot defend Philadelphia. Philly shooting 53% plus every single game. They shot close to 60% in this past game. And there's been 2 games where Philly's held Atlanta under 50%. So the defensive team in Philly is starting to show up again, and Atlanta has no answers for Joel Embiid. So series, I don't know. It looked like it could be a short series for the Hawks, in my opinion. Missing Hunter, that's probably a big deal for them. It allows Sixers to get away with playing some guys that shouldn't be able to play. But as a guy who backed the Sixers yesterday, I was happy with that. But the other game, the Nuggets and Suns, Yeah, at this point, I mean, Nuggets were trying out there. Poor Jokic, man. Jokic trying to put the team on his back. What else can he do? 30 points, 20 rebounds, 10 assists. What more you want from the man? And they lose by 16 points. So it's tough, man. Missing Jamal Murray, Will Barton banged up, Michael Porter Jr.'s back still aching. If they were healthy, I mean, they definitely can compete, but it's looking like it's all about done right now.
Yeah, it looks like it's all about done. And even after last night, I'm worried about the Hawks too. If they even win another game in this series, and they absolutely must win a game 4 at home, or else they're in big trouble against the Sixers. Dutch, get in here. What did you think of last night?
Yeah, man. Shout out to the chat real quick. Eric Chang, Big Zoe, Ray Charles. I see y'all, man. Do us a favor real quick. Hit the like button like I'm hitting this plane in GMO. It'll get you right where you need to be. Believe that. Now, when it comes to yesterday's games, man, oh man, oh man. Hey, the Philly was a beautiful thing. I ain't gonna lie. Like everything I see from Philadelphia it's just coming to fruition. Like they're just better than Atlanta. I don't understand why all this is on Atlanta. The Heat really with DeAndre, Hunter being out of lineup, that's big to me too, because he was just coming back, he was starting to look real nice, actually, in my opinion. Him going out, but they just, like Skee mentioned, they have nothing for them defensively. It's a bad matchup. I mean, I believe Trey got over his points and assists for you though, right, Ian? He did do that right late? No,
he fell short. He fell short.
Yeah.
I
thought it hit.
A couple other props came in, though.
He had 28,
yeah, a couple
right?
of the other props came in. Yeah, a couple of the other props came in. Like I had Jokic in the other game over points, rebounds, and assists that came in. We had Ayton. We had a lot of the Suns that came in. So it was a good night with that game, not so much with the Philly game.
My fault. Yeah, I'll touch on my props in that game. That shit was horrible for me. I thought he did hit the. I know he hit the points, but yeah. Well, shit, man. I had Embiid over 32.5. He had 27. They were really swarming him early, and he played a good game. I would have liked him to be a little more aggressive, but I believe if it wasn't a blowout, he's getting there. They had a comfortable lead, throughout the game. Then you look at, we look at Curry. I have over 13.5. He had 12. He had him pretty early too, and we can't get one more bucket from him for fucking ever. And then, oh my God, Kevin Huerter. I went over 11.5 points with that motherfucker, and I ain't gonna lie, I blame him for the way I feel today, because he's the one who started my double makers and a splash of diet. As soon as I seen the fucking box score with this dude, I was like, hey, let me get a double makers, please, with a splash, because that shit killed my high, killed my mood. And then we went on to Phoenix, and it was exactly like I, envisioned, except for I did expect – I told you yesterday I expect Denver to win one of these two games. I don't know if that's going to happen. Phoenix is clearly a better team. We've talked about it, went over it. I don't need to repeat it. CP3's locked in. We missed the double-double, went over to 15.5 points, and we got the double-double with DeAndre Ayton. So it was a 3 and 4 day for me all around. These props, man, they're smacking me around a little bit lately and paying that juice. I'm not too happy, but I'm ready for this. It's Skrilla Scratch Saturday. I'm ready to get that motherfucking bag today.
And of course, the blowouts continue, so that's never a good sign for these props. What can you do? And again, you have to separate what's a good bet that loses because of a blowout and a bad bet that loses just because you were way off on your handicap. There's a big difference. Right. What do you think, Conor Mac, last night?
Yeah, the Hawks, like we talked about, Ian, we might have to retire the Hawk call.
The Hawk call didn't
I
help
wasn't
him.
feeling it.
Call the Hawk.
They just didn't shoot well, and they're not like Philly's a team that can just have 10 threes. I mean, they shot 50%, 10 of 21, but they do so well getting to the rim and scoring, 58% shooting. I think you mentioned that, Skee. But the Hawks can't make 6 threes. They have to shoot the ball well, kind of like game 1 to be in it. They just don't have the team, especially with Hunter out. Hill, I mean, he's horrible. I don't even know why he's starting. They're just not very good. In the next game, they're going to have to shoot it well to be. I mean, Huerter, Gallinari, these guys can't go over. They got to make their threes. And Philly's defense kind of clamped down. That third quarter, it just steamrolled, shit rolls downhill. They were, down at 5 at half. It wasn't too bad, and then just went downhill from there. And the other game, that's all I had there in that one. Then the Suns game, Suns and the under was good. Crowder was good, 8 and double-double, but my 3 pops missed. They all missed by 1. That wasn't good. But the Suns just look like the better team all around, from the bench, Payne, Johnson, like you mentioned. Just such a deep team all the way around. But let's get to the one today. I can't wait.
All right. Yes, just one NBA playoff game. It's tonight. It's ABC. It's prime time. It's Mark Jones. It's Doris Burke on the call. We've got the Clippers and the Jazz tonight. Game 3 at Staples. It is the Clippers here now up to a 4.5 point favorites here in this one. Total in the 220. It looks like 222.5 is what we're seeing here right now with the total in this one. Obviously, Clippers money. It's gotten bet up as well because this was 3.5. Now I see 4.5, and even 5 starting to pop up on the Clippers here, and people just buying into the 0-2 theory again, especially for the team that's at home down 0-2 in the series that they're going to win. They're going to come out strong the first quarter, the first half, maybe cover the full game. Well, that didn't happen with Milwaukee the other night. They covered the first quarter. They were good. They pushed in the first half, and of course they win but don't cover for the full game. And I'm not ready to lay 4.5, 5 with the Clippers. I do agree this is probably a spot for them to try to get their best foot forward. I think this is a night for Kawhi to step up big time as well for this Clippers team. When they need a big performance at the most important time, usually that's the guy you turn to for the LA Clippers. But it's got to start at the defensive end for them. Their lax transition defense is terrible in this series so far. The first 2 games, they're not getting back to the 3-point line quick enough defensively. They're not communicating. They're not getting out to the perimeter shooters and guarding them or contesting those shots well enough. And the Utah Jazz are killing them with it right now. That's what's got to change moving forward here to Staples in Game 3 tonight for this Clippers team. So we'll see if they make those adjustments. But boy, they've struggled to match up with that perimeter firepower of the Jazz. We'll see if they are any better at guarding them here tonight in this game. But as far as props go, as far as the Jazz go, it's looking right now, guys, like Donovan Mitchell. You got to bet him over points every single night. Tonight's the night I'd be leery of doing that. All the talk, George and Kawhi and Ty Lue, the coaches, we got to stop Mitchell, stop Mitchell, stop Mitchell, get the ball out of his hands. Kawhi used the phrase, cut the head off the snake, essentially talking about what they've got to do defensively against Donovan Mitchell tonight. So you would think he's going to be keyed on. So I'm not in love with the Mitchell props tonight. I'd probably, if I'm interested in some Utah props, I'd look at some other players rather than Mitchell tonight. I do like Reggie Jackson for the Clippers at home, especially. We've seen some big games from him. Even the last game, he hit a couple of big shots. I think Reggie Jackson over points is what I'd look at. Kawhi Leonard over points is what I would look at here tonight in this game for the Clippers. As far as the side goes, I'm passing. I'm not laying 4.5, 5 with the Clippers right now just because they're down 2-0 and need the win. In fact, if this line continues to climb, I might put Utah in pocket, plus the points, plus as many points as I can get. As far as the total goes, I'd lean over because the Clippers have to shoot better at home than they have in the first couple games in this series, especially Game 2. And I'm not convinced that they can completely lock down the Jazz perimeter 3-point game right now with how much they've struggled. So right now, that's what I'm looking at. Over the total, I have nothing on the side, but I'm going to lean Utah if it gets higher. And I like Kawhi and Reggie Jackson over points in this game. Skee, what's your thoughts? Game 3, Utah, LA Clippers.
Yeah, another one where we see that first quarter line pretty juiced because sorry, got a little distracted. Just because they're coming back home down 0-2. You know, all I hear from Ty Lue is he's kind of talking about defense. Said they got to take the challenge to defend one-on-one, but I just haven't seen them to be a great defensive team. We've seen Dallas take advantage of them. I don't think they're that great. But he did also say that we can't dig a hole like that to start the game and then have to spend all the energy to come back. And he said that he liked the looks that the Clippers were getting. He says that they just weren't going in. So I think that we'll get a great effort from the Clippers out the gate. I still don't think that they'll be able to defend Utah. The thing that makes me nervous about the Utah side or Donovan Mitchell points or whatever the case is that he kind of hurt his ankle again a little bit. And that's the same one that he was dealing with before. So if he's not completely healthy, you know, maybe Clippers have a shot here. If I'm playing the Clippers at all, it'll be early, probably first quarter and get out the way. Other than that, I probably would lean towards taking the points with the Jazz. For the total, that's where I'm going to look more in this game. And I said it before, like that first game, they both shot really poor. They didn't get any fast break points. They still reached 221. And in the second game, we saw them shoot a lot better, 55%, 47%. They shot less 3-pointers, but made more, and they had some fast break points. And what happened? They get up and over the number. So, I'm looking at it here again today. I can only think to go over, but I think I like it a little bit more, just like the Denver game yesterday.
Yes, first half earlier. Yep.
Yeah, I like it first half. I mean, you're getting a good number. You're getting 109.5. And, outside of the Jazz were rusty in that first quarter of the first game. They missed, I think 3 of the first, 16 or 3 of the first, 20 or some kind of crazy stat like that shots. And they still got to, 107 in the first half. So I think that there is value there. We've seen 2 60-point quarters in each of the games. And I think that we can get one in the first half. I look at the first half for these teams on the year. They average about 116. I don't have it right in front of me. I'm trying to look at it here. I think it's about 116 for both of these teams. And if you want to look at the last 3 games, I want to say it's 123 for both. So I see value on the first half number over the total.
All right, liking first half over the total especially. All right, Dutch, what do you like here with the Jazz and the Clip Show?
Yeah, real quick shout out to my guy Turnsy, Sweaty the Butcher. I see you, bro. Yeah, with this, man, I don't agree actually. I can't, I'm not mad at the over, but I think this is a Clipper spot clear, first half for first quarter and full game. Personally, I just think, we've seen these aren't like the other series. These 2 games have actually been, somewhat closer in Utah. The Clippers haven't played great, and they've had a chance to win both games realistically. In game 2, they what I was seeing from Utah a lot was ISO ball. They only had 15 assists in that game, and personally, I think that with Ingles, even when they bring Ingles off, they do just so much ISO with Clarkson. I think if you could put the claw on Spider, put Kawhi Leonard, lock up motherfucking Donovan Mitchell, just contain him to about 25, and don't let Clarkson go for 20 plus. I don't see how the Clippers don't win this game by double digits. They need to get a better effort from Zubac. He played 13 minutes, had 0 rebounds, 4 fouls. Starting lineup, and that's what you're going to do. You're not going to be in the starting lineup too much longer. The Clippers
He shouldn't be anyway. That guy's a terrible big. I've said this about Zubac forever.
Yeah,
He's so good. He's a terrible big man compared to some of the other teams in the league. Terrible.
Yeah, I'm not in love with the guy, but if you're going to be on the court, fucking get some rebounds if you're 7 foot plus,
Get some boards while you're out
job, bro. Yeah, but, the Clippers are 4-1 ATS in their last 5 as a favorite. And I just like this spot. I think this is going to be a series. I don't want to think of what we've seen from the other series. In this, I do believe this is going to be a competitive series. I think we haven't had a good game from Kawhi Leonard yet, so I'm not mad at that. But I'm going to tread lightly with these props. I am going to lock in Clippers first half and first quarter, and I do like the full game. I might wait a little bit. I don't know. I haven't locked in the full game yet, but I am locked in first half, first quarter. And like I mentioned, just contain Donovan Mitchell. I believe you'll see the ISO ball stick out a little bit. Clarkson is he's a black hole. If he's making them, he's making them. But and Mitchell actually shoots a lot of bad shots as well. And if they go in, then it's great. But I think they'll be locked in on them. I look for Marcus, the Morris brother to play solid tonight. I look for Luke Kennard and the supporting cast. They had 19 points off the bench in game 2. I look for more from the bench. I don't want Reggie Jackson scoring 30 points. I don't want that. I want Kawhi Leonard scoring 30 points. PG-13 had, 27 and 10. You can do that again. That's not bad. I want Reggie to have about 17 to 18. I don't want him being the main scorer on there. He had 30 and they lose. I want Kawhi Leonard to be 30 plus and being the main option on that team. And put Patrick Beverly on Clarkson when he's in the fucking game and let him use up his 6 fouls. That's my personal opinion on Beverly. Other than that, he's kind of a bum. But I definitely look for the Clippers to handle business and take care of game 3.
All right, Clippers to take care of business tonight for Dutch Boy Fresh with this game tonight. Yeah, I'm looking at this too. It's the Clippers did, get off to that terrible start against Dallas, first round, down 2-0, and then they woke up in game 3. We'll see if they can do that again here. But again, this is Utah. This is the 1 seed in the West. This ain't Dallas now. So it's going to be a little bit tougher to do that. We'll see if they can get the job done, get their defensive game in order. That's where it's got to start. You can't be giving up uncontested threes.
Yeah, you got to play that perimeter, man. That's number one thing. Play the fucking perimeter.
Yeah.
Definitely. I agree with that. By the way, I'm going to sprinkle a little bit plus 310 Kawhi double tonight in this game.
Man, you took my shit, man. You took my play there, Ian. All right.
Oh yeah, I saw the price.
Yeah.
I just looked it up because I was interested.
Yeah.
At that price, I'm betting it plus 310. Like I know rebounding, I think he's going to be big in that department here tonight, and points definitely. I think this is a big night offensively for Kawhi, and I think look, Zubats ain't giving you shit in rebounds the last game. It's Kawhi might say, you know what? Move over, you big fucking load of nothing. I'll do something instead, and I'll grab these boards that you're supposed to be getting. So keep an eye on that tonight. I think it's a Kawhi night. You know, when backs against the wall, that's usually what you get a response from the claw, Kawhi Leonard. Connor, what do you like here tonight? Jazz Clippers.
Yeah, you mentioned it. You mentioned Paul George had 10. So did Morris. Leonard could easily have that. That's why I like that double-double as well. Yeah, down 0-2. Staples Center should be rocking. I think the Clippers early. The whole thing is the full game. I think 5 points is too many. I think these teams are very close. Even the games ended up being close in Utah in stretches. I just think the Jazz have too many weapons, too many, especially if they're hitting their threes. So full game, I will take the 5 points with the Jazz. Maybe it'll bite me, maybe not. I'd be leery of Mitchell over 31.5. It's moved up. Now on the road, he could stay under here tonight. But I'm going to stick with O'Neal, even though he didn't hit it. But Bogdanovich over 2.5 threes. I think those guys are good to go. They're plus money, 3 props. And then the Kawhi. I also like Jackson. You're not really getting a deal anymore. His over 2.5 3 prop is minus 113, but I still think he pours in over 15 and a few threes. But I think it's going to be a good game. I'd rather have 5 points in the end. Maybe look Clippers first half, first quarter. I'm not much of a first quarter guy, but I think in the end, 5's just too many. I was waiting yesterday when I saw the 4.5. Finally saw 5s today. I think it's just a bit too many. I think the game's close, so I'll take the 5 with the Jazz.
Yeah, Conor Mac has been throughout this series. He's been Tribe Called Quest in it. He's got the Jazz. He got the Jazz. He got the Jazz, and he's had the Jazz in every single game in this series, no question. And back to them here tonight, plus the points. All right, Connor, Skee, Dutch. Great analysis. We'll get to best bets, Dutch's freshest look in just a second. But before we do that, some messages and words from Manscaped and Southtown 101. All right, Southtown 101 in San Antonio, Texas. When you're in town, stop in, have a bite to eat, have a few drinks, and check out the live music, DJs, and karaoke there at Southtown 101, San Antonio, Texas. Manscaped, promo code Pub Sports. They've got the Lawnmower 4.0, the latest new and improved version of it. Check them out. Use that promo code Pub Sports to get 20% off. Manscaped and mybookie.ag, promo code Pub Sports. NHL, NBA playoffs, Major League Baseball daily. U.S. Open golf next major is next weekend on Father's Day weekend. We've got football in 2 months. Great time to be checking out mybookie.ag, Bitcoin accepted currency for your deposit. So check out mybookie.ag. Use the promo code Pub Sports. All right, it is time for best bets and Dutch's freshest look as well as the Clippers try to get back into the series. They couldn't stop Luka Doncic. They win that series in spite of that. And now Donovan Mitchell's their latest. We can't find an answer for Guy here in the playoffs. We'll see if they can find an answer for him here tonight. Skee, what do you think here? Game 3, best bet, Clippers Jazz.
Yeah, no matter which side it's coming from, I think they shoot a lot of threes. I think that we take advantage of that first half number, over 109.5. Best bet.
All right, over 109.5 first half over. Clippers and Jazz. Best bet for Skee Profit. Dutch, freshest look.
Yeah, I like that a lot, Skee. Yeah, man, freshest look, man. We're gonna go to the first half. We're gonna lock it in. Everyone seems to be scared of that full game. I'm not really scared of the full game, but I do like that first half a lot. We're locking the Clippers -4 first half. Let go.
All right, there we go. LA Clippers -4 first half. Dutch with the freshest look for this Saturday night showdown. Conor Mac, Game 3, Clippers, Jazz, best bet.
Yeah, I like that look too, Skee. I think the full game can get there over as well, but give me the Jazz. No player prop. Just give me the Jazz full game. I think 5's just too much. I think the game's pretty close, so I want the 5 rather than lay it. So give me the Jazz +5.
All right, Utah Jazz +5 full game, best bet for Conor Mac. Mine's going to be a player prop. Kawhi Leonard over 27.5 points. You got to lay a little juice, -140, but I like it. This is the games where he shows up. Usually, the team needs him the most now. Got to have it game for the LA Clippers. I expect Kawhi to play it that way. Kawhi Leonard over 27.5 points, -140. That'll be my best bet for this Saturday night game. Clippers Jazz Game 3. That'll wrap it up for the NBA Pub Up. Thanks to everyone in the chat. Hit the like button, please. 95 people watching live. It helps us out. We're going to be up the YouTube ranks and the searches the more likes we get. So thank you. We appreciate it. Hit that like button. And thanks for joining us on a Saturday. We'll be back with you tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific for the Sunday edition of the NBA Pub Up. Milwaukee, Brooklyn is the first game tomorrow early in the – I can tell you right now I'm on Brooklyn. Yeah, you don't even have to join us right at the start of the show. So I've already made up my mind on that game. I'm on Brooklyn tomorrow. We'll get into that game more though tomorrow with props and all that right at the start of the show before the game tips off. So join us tomorrow on Sunday for the next edition of the Pub Hub right here on Pub Sports Radio. For Skee Profit, Conor Mac, Dutch Boy Fresh, I'm Ian Cameron. Have a great Saturday. Enjoy tonight's game with the Jazz and the Clippers, and we'll see you again tomorrow on Sunday for another edition of the NBA Pub Hub right here on Pub Sports Radio. Dutch, take us home.
Yeah, man. Salute to the chat, the real ones. Y'all stay fresh, stay blessed. Let's stay putting these motherfucking bookies to rest.
We be pubbing!